Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's September the 16th, 2025. It's about 22 or 23 degrees Celsius outside, and I'm in the basement. That's why it's a little darker. Normally you get to see me film Lego builds down here. I've done a couple other things down here too, but I'm fortunate enough to have a pool table in front of me. And why I have the pool table in front of me is because I've laid out all the stamps that I bought at the stamp show this weekend. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the stamp show, if you'll indulge me for a moment before we get to actually seeing the stamps. So every month we have a get-together of a stamp show, and there is typically on average 3 or 4 dealers, and they have a big table with auction items. Now anybody can bring in stuff for the auction, so maybe you want to clear out your collection and put some things. Usually the reserve, or not the reserve, but the minimum bid is $5 for any item that goes on the auction table, and there's some pretty good buys. Sometimes it's dominated by Canadian topics, or maybe Canadian and American topics, but it all depends. Every month's a little bit different. And so you have the option to go and write your name if you get registered your number, and write your number on the auction bid with your bid. And at 1 o'clock they have the auction. Any items that don't have a bid get taken off the table and they don't go up, but long as there is at least one bid on there, it goes up for anyone to bid on. So maybe you put the minimum bid as $5, they put it up, maybe someone will bid against you, maybe they won't, and maybe you'll get it dirt cheap. So that's one thing that you can do, is the auction. Now, as far as the dealers are concerned, they all sit at the perimeter, and this particular one only had 3 dealers at it, so it was a kind of a smaller get-together this time around. The 3 dealers that were there, one of them is primarily Scott numbers, and so if you're looking for a certain stamp, you can flip through all his cards and find the stamp you're looking for. He does have a few albums too that you can go through. That's one of the tables that's there. The other table has a variety of things. He has binders and boxes full of Scott numbered items that you can look for if you're looking for certain stamps. He also has binders that are classified by country in alphabetical order, and any stamp in those are 12 cents a piece. And he also sometimes has Vario pages, used Vario pages, sheets of countries, maybe souvenir sheets, blocks of stamps. So that's at his table. And then the final table is divided almost into 3 sections. At one end, you have all the binders that are 10 cents each for any stamps that are in those. He also has some used postcards. So for someone who's collecting postmarks or likes vintage cards, the stamps that are on, the stories that are on them, he carries that. He carries souvenir booklets from Royal Mail, so things that have come out. Also albums that maybe are U.S. Year-end albums, some Canadian ones. He also has booklets of pages from like an ovation album of stamp things. He might take a whole section out for one country and sell those off as a unit. You can buy them that way. He also has the stock cards of all the different countries you might want if you're looking for a certain stamp. And then at the far end of his table, he has the higher value items. So if you're looking for a penny black, for example, or a blue nose, or some rare New Brunswick or Nova Scotia PEI stamps, you might have some of those. Cinderella stamps are in those binders as well. But some of those price tags are a little bit higher, $1,500, $2,000 for a stamp for some of the things that are in there. But that's all available too. So it's really about whatever you want at that particular vendor, that dealer. You've got pretty much what you need. So between those 3 and the auction, there's a lot of wonderful things that you can get. Now, it happens every month with the exception of the summer. The summer they take off. So the last one is in June, and then July and August are off. We're back to it again now. We have people that come up from Nova Scotia. We have people that come down from different parts of New Brunswick, come over from Prince Edward Island. And it's usually a good place to find a lot of wonderful things. I've covered it in the past, so you can go back and see some of those things. But what I've done this time around, and what I do mostly going to the stamp shows for my purpose, is I look for things for giveaways. So I know what is coming up for the rest of the months this year, so I can look and see what sort of things that I want. I get ideas on topics I want to talk about too when I go to these shows. I find some items that I think other people that I've been trading with might enjoy. Some people actually give me some ideas and say, you know, kind of looking for this, kind of looking for that. And if I can find it at a decent price, because I'm not spending money to give away to the world, because I don't necessarily have that. But sometimes in trade, I'll look for things, and at 10 cents a stamp, if I find something that I know someone will enjoy, I will pick it up. All right, that is what I do. Now, before I show you what I got this time around, make sure you like, you subscribe, you leave positive comments, you hype, and you put the notification bell on so you don't miss out on anything. That being said, let's see what I got from vendor number one. Let's do vendor number one. So this allotment of stamps that I'm going to show you, they either come from 10-cent books, they might come from some collections that are together, and we'll see. The very first thing I'm going to show you that I got were all the things I'm going to give you in the giveaway for this month. So if you go to Stamp of the Month, you look at the topic, it's talking about stamps, about trains. And if you put the keyword in the comments of that video and that video alone, at the end of this month, September 2025, you got a chance to win some train-related items. So let me first show you what I have to add to the giveaway. Because it's trains on stamps. So some are in better condition than others. I'll give you that right off the bat. These are not mint stamps. They are used from a book, but they come from around the world, and they all are trains on stamps. Really like these ones from the Soviet Union. Really nice looking stamps. I found some Canadian ones too. So a little bit more local. I certainly remember when these stamps came out, when they were brand new when I was younger. We've got stamps from Hungary. Yeah, stamps from all over the world that have to do with trains. All of these stamps are going to be in the giveaway. So if you see something you like, make sure you're entered. Maybe you'll win. Okay, so that's the first lot. The next thing that I got were some packets of stamps. These ones were from St. Vincent, as you can see. They are all mint stamps. So I think I paid $2 for those. And then I got this one here. You can see the collections on it. They show you the catalog value. So $5.50 for those 4 across the top. His price was $2.95. This one particular stamp says the catalog value is $15. And this one here, I think I paid $3 for all of it. And then the final one, a bit more expensive, because you can see those are New Brunswick stamps, pre-Confederation. A whole bunch of those 5-cent ones there from New Brunswick. There's even some Nova Scotia stamps in there too, and one from Prince Edward Island. So I paid $10 for this whole pack, which I thought was all right. Okay, now in the 10-cent book or books, these are the stamps that I got. So what I collected, or what I selected, this one I really like because it is the silver, it's actually raised. You can feel it, it's textured. Really like that one too. It almost looks like a, well, it is a reprint because it shows 1804, 2004. But I like the old style. Post boxes, some early Belgian stamps in there too. Some longer stamps. So what I was looking for going through these books is, of course, future themes that I want to talk about, what I might be giving away. Items that I think would look cool in my own personal stamp collection. And some things that maybe just stuck out. Hey, like this finish stamp. It is going beyond the border. I like that, so I picked it up. So some of these stamps you will see again as giveaways, and some of them will disappear into the countries, into my albums, for me to enjoy. I do apologize if there's a big glare. I'm trying to get it. You know, we've done some Disney stamps before, where there's some more Disney. Superman, maybe comic book characters or superheroes. You can see some more there. The Incredible Hulk, Fantastic Four, Batman. These ones are always popular too around Halloween, these Canada stamps. This one I thought was just a beautiful black rose from Russia. Scouts. Some early Australian ones. that came out, so I grabbed some of those. What is this one? Oh, Mandalorian, or Boba Fett, actually. Star Wars stamps. Some more comic books and Disney. These ones are nice too, these St. Vincent ones. And these Greenland ones really stuck out when I saw those. Cars on stamps. These automotive ones have been going to a lot of car shows lately, so that kind of jumped out at me when I saw all these really nice cars on stamps. Some motorcycles on stamps. Carnival, kind of made me think of Halloween. And then a clown. So all of these stamps came out of the 10-cent binders. Now the other vendor I went to, so I spent $30 at that vendor, and this one, they were 12 cents a stamp. So similar idea. I was grabbing stamps for topics or countries that I was looking for. You will see some of these stamps again probably quite soon. So we won't spend a lot of time looking at them here, but I'll make it so you can see it, and we won't talk about necessarily the countries, even though you can see it. I didn't sort them by country, which I could have. These Disney stamps, I think I've given away these in the past when I did Disney as a theme. Talked about Walt Disney. But a lot of countries use Disney on stamps. But I really like the fact that this particular dealer had all his albums alphabeticalized, so when I was looking for certain things, I could just go to those albums. Didn't get distracted by all the other countries, nor did I have to look through every album to find the stamps that I was looking for, which I did have to do when showing you those last ones there that were 10 cents a stamp. You go through every single album looking. And sometimes you probably skip over ones that maybe have even more value, or probably would have been good for my father's collection, because I just didn't have a list of stamps he was missing. I know people do show up. My friend Kyler, he shows up with his Scott albums, and the albums are all marked, so he knows exactly what stamps he has in his collections. So he knows which ones he's looking for when he's going through the books. But he is very fastidious when going through the albums, picking out exactly what he needs. And sometimes finding the valuable stamps too in there that I probably glossed over because I was looking more for a theme to give away. Because just because it's in the 10-cent album doesn't mean the stamp's only worth 10 cents. There may be even a stamp you see here that has a value that's higher than 10 or 12 cents. Or maybe it's something you collect, so the value is determinant on what you collect. So it's more valuable to you because it's something you might be missing. But as we go through here, you can see at 12 cents a piece, and I got a dealer discount too because he appreciated me going through the effort. So I spent $20 with him. So for a grand total of $50, we got all of these stamps. The stamp shows are a lot of fun. I really enjoy going, seeing people that enjoy the hobby as much as I do, or maybe even more in some cases, hear some of their stories, some of the things that they've been collecting. We talk about Canada Post because they know that I'm a mailman. We talk about YouTube because they know I make videos for YouTube. And sometimes we're just talking about day-to-day, what's happened, especially on this last one. It had been 2 months since I've seen some of these people, and so we got a chance to talk to a few of them. Now, I'm not super social all the time, and when I am there on a Saturday, I had a live stream to do at 12 o'clock. So I was there for business. I got there at 9:30. The show starts at 10 o'clock, but if they're set up and ready before that, they don't mind you sitting down and starting to go at it. So 9:30 I got there. I was there till about 11 o'clock. And then I wished myself away. Like I said, I didn't stay for the auction this time around. I had things I needed to get done and wanted to do. So I went home, got something to eat, had my live stream at 12 o'clock, and began the rest of my day. That's how that one goes. But sometimes I get there at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I don't leave till 3 o'clock in the afternoon because I stay for the auction. Maybe Kyler's come over from Prince Edward Island and we get talking, and so I stay a little longer on those days, and maybe I don't have as much stuff that I need to do. Maybe I do the live stream right from the stamp show. I've done that a few times too. So, yeah. We'll see what happens in October, the next stamp show. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you enjoyed seeing what I got this time around, and I'm sure you'll see it again soon because it'll be in some giveaways and it'll be in some of my Thursday videos as well. All right, that's it for today. Have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?